Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, dear. Very good that you have reminded me. Okay, dear.
Yes, sir.
So 5 minutes, 10 minutes are gone in that way. Anyway,
No
so
problem.
your hobby is traveling. Is that what good business
Yes, sir.
ideas that come to your mind? You see, you see animals. You see, drinking water is an issue in your in your area. So there are just a lot of buffaloes, cows as well, sheep, goats. All these animals are there, and
Yes, sir.
are they? Do you think that animals also have problem when they drink water? There is a milk production is affected.
Uh, I think there is not a good, you can say that, not a good area for uh, cattling, for shipping. You cannot here make a perfect
Uh-huh.
farmhouse.
Mm.
That's why there is not a good water, not a good environment.
Mm.
That's why if you purchased any goats, buffaloes,
Mm.
and they will be, you will be lost after 2 years, 3 years. You will be go in loss.
Okay. So what is the price, land price in your area for a house? Is there any buying, selling in your village as well? So for 5 marla, what is the price? 3 marla, five
Uh,
marla, 1 marla, how much is it?
I think in my village, 3 lakhs per marla and 4 lakhs also in
Mm.
per marla.
Uh-huh.
And if you want to purchase the house, construct a house,
Uh-huh.
then you will be pay 65 lakhs.
65 lakh, 3 marla
Uh,
house.
5 marla house,
Five marla house.
a ready house,
Ready or double story house, ready, finished.
double story, yeah, finishing and
Mm.
uh, everything you can purchase there. 65 lakhs, 50
65
to
lakhs.
65 lakhs.
Are there any ready-made house people selling, making and selling?
Ye- Yes, sir. There are many people are developing and selling their plots,
Ah,
house.
houses. Okay. So yeah, this is all about buying and selling. What are the business idea that come to your mind? Is packing good idea?
Uh,
Yeah,
I
packing, you
think
know. Mm, yes.
I think uh, my friends tell me about me a good idea.
Uh-huh.
If you purchase the 5 marla house in Bahria Town, and
Uh-huh.
then you developing.
Actually, there is little difference you see between a Bahria Town house price and the house price in your locality. Okay.
A
Um,
lot of.
you see, for example, if there is 5 lakh rupees per marla in your village, so about
Yes, sir.
10 lakh per marla is here in Bahria Town.
Yes, sir.
So price difference is very little, but the thing is that living in here, Bahria Town is expensive. Buying a
Yes,
house
sir.
is not very expensive, may not be the
Yes,
same.
sir.
Buying a house is almost the same. Buy a house in your village or buy a house in any other society,
In Bahria Town. Yes,
And
sir.
so, so that is the same like buying a house in Bahria Town. But this is more beautiful, but this is more expensive as well. You see, there are many charges. Electricity is expensive. And
Electricities,
you
maintenance
see,
charges,
monthly,
gardening charge,
monthly
gardener
charges.
charging.
If
Yes, sir.
you have commercial activities are limited, they don't allow. You see, everybody. यहाँ पे so you cannot open a small shop. Like, and
Yes,
the
sir.
other disadvantage is that here they have allotment letter, like many other societies, and we see.
Yes, sir.
But if they buy a house or piece of land in your area, I think in your locality there is a registry system. I think.
Yes, sir. There is registry system.
Okay, okay. So this is the
Sir,
advantage.
I think in Bahria Town has a allotment system. Not other societies have allotment system.
No, in Bahia Town there is allotment letter, you
Yes,
know.
sir. Allotment letter, but not other societies do this.
No, mostly society. I think so far as I remember, all the societies they have allotment letter system. They don't give registry, you know. So
Uh,
this is a big disadvantage to buy a property in
mm,
these towns, you know. Good it is
uh,
that when a society starts, you see buy some files, you know, and you can buy plots at initial stages, and after sometimes 2 3 years you sell them and finish that because maybe after that there will be little growth, um, or you see have your plot for 10 15 years. There's no problem, I think, for investment. Only these problems are you see start when the societies are full grown, okay, and then
yes,
management,
sir.
you see roads, you see in Bahria Town previously, they made a road and there was little movement on the road. You see, for example, maybe in one day there were 100 vehicles they were playing on the road. Now there are, you see,
Yeah.
1000 vehicles playing in 1 hour, you know. The
Yes, sir.
road is very much affected, so maintenance increases when there are more people living together. There is more greater expenditure on, you see, maintenance. So
Yes, sir.
for this reason, you see, I was reading about Bahria Town these days that it has won many awards or this is international level society or all that. But in spite of all this, sometimes if you come to Bahria Town, there are patches on the roads. They are not, you see, properly maintained as well, and they break the roads as well, and sometimes they have some issues, you know. So
Yes, sir.
until recently, there was, you see, in Bahria Town, there was little rain, and you see, Talwar Chowk, there was all water, you know. More Chowk,
Yes,
but there was
sir.
a lot of water in the More Chowk. And so
Yes, sir.
these type of problems were there. And still at some places, the development is slow. They are not spending a lot, maintenance or
Yes,
all these
sir.
things. And the other
Yes,
thing
sir.
is there are many restrictions, you know,
Yes, sir.
in starting a business, going to school. Schools are very expensive, you know. Markets are
Yes,
very
sir.
expensive, and you see, if you want a quality, you will have to give a lot of money. So this is the
Yes,
main
sir.
issue. But
Yes.
in others, if you are in some other societies, especially in villages or small towns, so they don't have this type of problems. But these, you see, villages and towns, they are neglected by the government. Government is not spending on these villages, and if the people want to make development, there should be some unions, some people, they should get together and they should, what I should say, from self
Uh,
efforts, okay,
self
self support, you can say.
support. Yes,
So
sir.
they can make, what you see, improvement, development by self support. So this is one of the, there are some advantages, you know, of living in a town and this. But if there is a single person, no family, or a poor person, he should not come and see live in Bahria Town. And
Yes,
there
sir.
are some other ways as well. If people want to come and live in Bahria Town, first they should have the experience of living here in Bahria Town on rent. So four
Yes,
five
sir.
months they should spend, live on rent, and when they have spent 4 5 months here, 6 months here in Barrytown, and still if they like, then they can buy a plot and they can start construction as well, or they can buy
Yes,
a
sir.
ready-made house as well. Because in
Yes,
maps
sir.
there is a map, there are beautiful gardens, beautiful all these attractions, but you see there are no street dogs sometimes that we see here in Barrier Town. And no, so,
Yes, sir.
but they are also lying there. And
Yes, sir.
so these things, but the shops around Barrier Town, which are at the
Uh,
exits of Barrier Town to the village sides, so
yes, sir.
they are making good business. People sometimes go there. And
Yeah.
so these were the things. So,
Once,
uh,
I think one a week ago,
uh,
I was watching a video at Bahria Town page.
uh,
There are many street dogs in Bahria
uh,
Town, and
yeah.
uh, no one active in this. Uh, what you can say that no one catch them. Then after after 3 or 4 months, the barrier management do something and
They shot
catch
the
the dog.
dogs. Their security
Yes,
guards,
sir.
they come, they shot the dogs with guns and
Yes,
with
sir.
pistols. So that was very bad impression. Sometimes I have heard that in the morning there is some gunshot, and what happened because security dogs, they were killing security people. They were killing the dog. So people
Yes, sir.
protested on that. That was not the right way and to behave to the animals or dogs. First,
Yes, sir.
if one thing is that they should make sure that these stray dogs they don't enter, say, in the Bahria town. But first, they should make sure this. And if there are some street dogs, okay, it's not that the street dogs come in one day and they live here, they grow here, they give their puppies grow there, and they
Yes,
should
sir.
initially control them. If they see a dog, and they should pick it and they should leave it outside Bahria town, so it should not stay inside here Bahria town. But if there was
I think sorry, you know that there is no boundary wall at Barrytown, no, totally.
Yes, at some places
Uh,
there is normally there is boundary wall on all sides of barrier down, but at some places there is boundary wall is
no
missing.
boundary wall. Yes, sir, there is no totally boundary wall. That's why
Uh,
the dogs come there from their ways. Uh,
hmm.
they enter
And
the barrier
it is
town.
also not safe. Some you see these vehicles, the cars, they drive very fast on the main road. So if it happens that some stray dogs come very suddenly onto the main road,
Yes,
so it
sir.
is very risky as well for the dog and for the families as well. And there
Yes,
is
sir.
risk of biting as well, biting of dogs.
My uncle was once. My uncle was accident with the dogs, and
Oh,
then he was at bike, and when he fell down, his leg
oh,
was broken.
oh my God. Was he on
Yes,
motorbike?
yes, sir.
Uh,
He was at motorbike.
mm. Yes, these animals, they come very suddenly onto the main road, and sometimes they make very see.
Yes,
Almost everybody has, you see, hit a dog when while you see driving on the road, or you see riding a bike or all these things. Very often it
yes, sir.
happens that dogs and cats, they come onto the main road. But they are animals,
Yes,
you see,
sir.
they don't have proper sense, and rarely, but they do come onto the main road.
Yes, sir. And if you want to go the backside of the dogs and animals, they run back. And
Uh,
if you want, this is a natural procedure that they have no any uh, uh, thinking about system, and
uh,
we can stop their riding and ride, and we can stop their our vehicles
hmm,
to save us. But if they come suddenly,
uh,
then we have a lot of loss.
a lot of loss. So these dogs, yesterday, a few days back, I was watching a movie.
Yeah.
There was a small girl going in the street and perhaps going to a shop, nearby shop, to buy some candies or things like that. And see, about four, five, six stray dogs, they attack the girl. And
Yes, sir. This was. I think this is. I also watched this video, and
uh,
this is Karachi city.
Karachi. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, and does it happen that the when where there are see stray dogs, and the small children like the 7 years old, 6 years old, they are not safe to move on the road in the street.
I think in my village there is many city dogs, but they are not attacked people,
Oh,
and not but they bark at night
uh,
when they see a person came,
uh,
uh, single person came, and they attacked. I think they're not attacked. They
bark only.
bark
So
on
they
a person.
these days the dogs, they yes, you have reminded me, they the dogs make a lot of, you see, noise, barking at night. So is it the same in your village that after the evening the dogs are barking a lot? When they see the stranger they start barking, and when they see some dog from some other area, if they see in their locality, in their street, they start barking and running or all this. So is it
Uh,
common in your village that after sunset, you see dogs are very active and they are barking, not sleeping, because
no,
these dogs keep awake all night?
no. This is not. I think they are not barking daily, and if a dog barking, then I checked. I check what happened there.
Uh-huh.
If there is a one dog in our street,
Uh-huh.
uh, I think two or three dogs in our street, and when they see a stranger, then they barking, and many times they alert us what happening in outside, and I checked there once a dog was barking,
Uh-huh.
and I checked there in I think last winter season. Then a man breaking a shut lock of
Uh,
shutters a shop.
uh,
Uh, then I
okay.
run. And the thief go run away.
Ran away. Okay. So the dogs
Yes, sir.
also useful. They tell about the thieves in the street.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So have you ever been chased by a dog?
I think yes, sir. In my farmhouse.
Uh-huh. So,
Yes, sir.
so was it your own dog, or you see a dog? It was a new, did not recognize you.
Yes, sir. This was a new dogs, and if a dogs, this was not a street dog, and
Uh-huh.
protecting dogs. This
Uh,
was a fighting dogs.
fighting dog. Oh,
Yes, sir.
so
My cousin was interested this system fighting their dogs in other cities.
uh,
That's why. And there are two dogs in our village, and if a dog see other dogs, fighting
uh,
dog see other dog,
uh, uh,
then his behavior is cruel,
yeah, screw up.
and
So these
the
fight.
dog was
Where do you,
he attacked me.
where people get these fighting dogs? You see, they have special like bull terriers or all these things. They buy from
Uh,
somewhere.
yeah, they buy from somewhere, and they invest a lot of money
Uh-huh.
in dogs. They're
Okay.
required 3 or 4 kg meat in a day, meal,
Oh,
other things. In fighting days, they also give makhan and
uh,
desi ghees,
all right.
many things.
Yeah, so they give more to the dog. They don't eat them in themselves. They don't eat that much. Is that?
Yeah, they invest the dogs more a lot
So,
of.
so a dog then becomes very expensive. How much is a dog if somebody wants to buy something?
If a dog you wanna purchase that dog, he's a good fighter,
Uh-huh.
and then you must pay 40 or 50 lakhs.
40, 50 lakhs on dog.
Yes, sir. Once a man, Akyum Khan came in Vihari
Uh-huh.
for fighting dogs,
Uh-huh.
and they asked my uncle, "Give me your dog in 50 lakhs." And
Uh-huh.
my uncle said, if you want to you purchase your dog,
Uh-huh.
I two dogs, I will pay you 1 crore.
Oh my God. So,
Yes, sir.
so dogs are, you see, they win a lot of for there's a, you see, dog fight. The winner dog gets, you see, a prize. How much prize that is, you see? 10 lakh rupees,
The
15 lakh, how much?
No, no, there is not a prizing system, but there is a trophy system in fighting dogs. But the dog owner
Uh-huh.
played a bet with each other.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir. The dog owner played the bet
Uh-huh.
with each other. I
Okay, the
think
bet
their
bet
bet
is
will
so
be the
how
bet
much,
will be.
that bet be, for example? There's a, you can say, prize as well, okay? So
Yes, sir. But
winning or losing, okay. So yeah,
yes,
when
sir.
a dog wins, how much money it may win? 1 lakh, 2 lakh, how much?
Uh, I think there is a decided prices,
So
one
for
lakhs.
example, you see, yeah, your dog, if your dog is 50 lakh rupees, so you will not bring it for a fight just for 5,000 bet, it should be heavy bet.
Yeah, no, no. If there are people betting at their dogs, they
Uh,
will bet at I think 50 lakhs, 40
uh,
lakhs, 30 lakhs.
uh-huh. So it's more than 20, 50 lakhs, okay? 20,
Yes, sir.
30 lakhs, it's more than that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So is it a good business to, you see, is it safe? I think it is not easy to, sometimes people don't give money.
Yes, sir. This is I think in this Punjab, after I think 6 year ago, 7 year ago, this is very common thing. But
Hmm.
nowadays, this is not common thing. The police came there and arrest the
Uh,
people. Why are you doing this fighting system?
so where fighting takes place, away from the village, or you see near the village that everybody should come here?
This was held. Basically, this was held at Mela system.
Mela. Okay, okay, okay.
Uh, yes, sir. There is in my village. Near my village there is a very crowd and fighting dogs.
Uh,
I think 5 year ago there is very big fighting the dogs, and nowadays the police came there, and I think this system is closed there.
close. There's no, very rare now. So is
Yes,
it
sir.
necessary for the dog that people should take it for a walk as well?
Yes, I think this is not a good system, fighting dogs
Hmm.
and in wasting time, people,
Hmm.
and this
Hmm.
I think. But when I see many times dog fighting,
Hmm.
and I see there is a very big crowd. I think
Hmm.
2 or 3,000 people crowd
Hmm.
there.
So there is also horse running as well.
Yeah,
Horse
every year
races.
there is, yes, yes, yes. Every year there is held a mela, when held mela in February.
Uh,
Horse riding, kabaddi is a very good system here.
uh,
I
do
will,
you,
I will invite you. I will invite you in February.
okay.
You will,
All right.
you come here and see kabaddi system, a big
Uh,
kabaddi system.
all right. All right. So do you play kabaddi as well?
No, I not. have interest in kabaddi,
Yeah.
but
Mm.
I have interest in to watch kabaddi.
To watch kabaddi, you watch kabaddi. So
Yes, sir.
people are very excited, I know, on kabaddi matches. And sometimes
Yes, sir.
I see some videos. Okay, there is Javed Jattu or things like this. There's a sup names like this, and they
Yes,
play.
sir.
I see some videos on Facebook, and very
Uh,
very famous.
in my village, the international player come here.
Uh,
International kabaddi player, a team of Pakistan international,
uh,
come here and play kabaddi.
all right, all right. Is there any kite flying as
And
well?
yeah, I can. But now nowadays there are not allowed here
Uh,
flying kites. But when the flying kites allowed,
uh,
uh, I I think in 3 or 4 days in a week I flying kites.
okay. So, people celebrate Basant in your area
Uh,
even now or not? Or Basant is finished?
I think Basant is finished in my area. In my area 4 or 5 years ago.
Uh,
Uh,
they,
there,
there is some other people have some hobby. They have pigeons, you know. So, is there
yes,
any
there.
interest? People fly pigeons in your area, in your village as well?
I think there is many people have pigeons in my area. My big brother
Uh,
uh, have many pigeons and
uh,
playing you can say bazi.
uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
now
think
there's.
in my
Mm,
farmhouse there is 80 to 90 pigeons and
uh-huh.
I think 30 in my house.
30 pigeons in your house, and you see
And
about 100 pigeons in your farmhouse.
yes, sir.
So do you fly them and watch every day?
No, sir, I don't like flying pigeons.
Uh-huh. Do you have some
This,
people to feed them and watch them and you see water them and you see open them for a flight? Is it necessary for pigeons to fly every day?
yeah, yeah, not it is not unnecessary,
Uh-huh.
but I think you open their pigeons and for walk you can say freshing and walking.
Uh-huh. So I have heard that sometimes the people say pigeon keep flying for you see 2 days, 3 days. So is that true story? Pigeon fly that much? Hello?
No, yes,
Ah,
sir. I think there
some
was a net problem. Now I can
yes, yes.
hear you.
Sometimes the people saying that pigeons keep flying for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, and then you see after 1 week they come back home. Do you think
Uh,
is that true story that pigeon keep flying for 5 days without without food, without drinking water? Pigeon can
no,
fly for
no,
4 5 days.
no, no. There is a 7 days in the pigeon flying, and
Mm.
if you flying the pigeon and in morning and a full day the pigeon fly in a sky, and
Uh,
if a pigeon come here at home in evening,
uh,
then you recording you record the hours of pigeons
uh. So pigeon should
and
in the morning they fly the pigeon and pigeon should come back by the evening before sunset pigeon should come back. Is that?
yeah, yes, the pigeon come back in evening before sunset, and they record their hours, how
Uh,
many hours the pigeon fly,
uh,
and in other then and other same days they flying the pigeon, the 7 pigeon.
mm.
This is our 7 days and 7 pigeons I think
Uh,
system.
uh-huh. So is it that you fly a pigeon today and it will come back after 4 or 5 days? Does this happen?
No, I think this is not happen. But if I fly a pigeon, and he will come, he come back at home in the other morning.
Other morning, next day.
Yes, sir. Next day.
So, is it safe for the pigeons when they're flying in the sky? There are some other, you see, birds like kites and we'll see big birds as well, and so they can make attack on the pigeon. So, is it safe for the
Uh,
pigeon to fly, or sometimes
there is
there's some risk as well for the pigeon?
I think heard I had not heard this system, but very rare system is in the sky. The pigeon attack, big bird attack at pigeon. Not. I think this is a very rare system.
Uh,
Very
So,
rare.
how high a pigeon can fly? See, sometimes on there are aeroplanes as well. See, in the sky. So, how high a pigeon can fly? 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer?
I think pigeon can fly at sky 1 or 3 kilometers, 2 or 3 kilometers.
Ah. So on that height, you see pigeon, you see flying. So isn't that
Uh,
you fly a pigeon from Lahore, and by flying it somewhere lands in Faisalabad or some other city by mistake?
No, no, no. Pigeon come at home. If a pigeon fly 3 kilometers in the sky,
Uh,
they come back. They fly around of their house, and
uh-huh.
their area. That's where you fly the kitchen pigeon, and
Uh,
they fly around. I think 1 kilometer around in the sky.
uh. So there is another thing. You see bad weather, you see sometimes it's come very suddenly, winds, and clouds very suddenly comes. So do pigeons have problem? You see 2 kilometers high. I think clouds are not that much high. So
Uh,
is it sometimes problem for the pigeon to find the house if there are clouds in between,
uh, many times many times in
bad weather?
the bad weather,
Uh,
pigeons will be lost.
will be
And
lost.
but nowadays there is a system.
Hmm.
The pigeon owners printed their phone number
Uh,
in a ring, a
um,
rubber ring, and
uh,
wearing in the legs on pigeon.
uh, so if the pigeon is
And
lost, somebody can make phone call. Okay, sir, your pigeon is here in Faisalabad. You can come and take.
yes, sir. And they come Faisalabad, and they say I you will be pay me 5,000, 6,000, and the
Ah, ah,
owner paid.
sure. If they like the pigeon, so pigeons are also very expensive, as you told me, like other animals.
Yes, sir. Are also very expensive. If you wanna buy a white eye pigeon,
Uh huh.
uh, the the lowest price of white eye pigeon is 5,000, and
Um,
70,000, 80,000 is the highest
oh,
price of a pigeon.
okay, okay. So this is a job. See, are there any poultry farms in your area?
No, no, nowadays there is no any poultry farm here, but the yeah, I think there is two or three poultry farm areas,
Uh,
poultry farms.
mm. I Patok
At
is how
at
far?
Cana-
Mm.
at Canal Road, there is a very big poultry farm.
Uh-huh.
Uh, at Canal Road, the opposite side of New Lahore city.
New Lord City. Okay.
Yes,
Because you
sir.
see, birds and the poultry, they have to give feed only to and the water. They don't need much. You see, they don't take a bath every day. Things
Yes,
like that.
sir. A poultry system. If a person doing poultry system and knowing about system is very well, they will very. They. I think he will
Mm.
get a profit, very
Mm.
big profit. And
Uh,
I think this is a very risky
mm.
system, poultry farm system.
Poultry is
Uh,
risky. Okay.
my relatives are doing this system in Laya, and they earn 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs in a day
Uh-huh. All right.
from
Oh.
poultry system.
Uh,
And I think they have 40 control system,
uh,
poultry farm system.
uh-huh. In other countries, I have seen there you see hens are you see very big, and in Pakistan we have a hen that is about 1 kg, 1 kg 200 grams. That much is the meat in a hen. But I have seen some other countries that their their hen is more than 3 kilograms.
Uh,
So,
in our I think in our country we are not interested to grow
oh yes, yes,
poultry.
there's more profit. You are very right. In other countries, some
Yeah,
people have more profit. Mm.
yes, sir. I think in Pakistan, people want profit, just profit, not a
Everybody,
good health.
people, you see, purchasing power is not very good. People are, you see, they cannot buy expensive things. Okay, so this is one reason.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so this was all about you see animals, and now let's see. Do you think education is very important for earning in our later life?
Yeah,
Education means education
education
is
is.
certificate. People are having certificates. So they go to school for 10 years, 20 years, 15 years, and they get some certificates and some degrees, but it is difficult for them to find a job.
There is a not good system in Pakistan. If a person have got give a lot of rishwat,
Uh,
then he can get a
bribery.
good job.
Uh,
Yeah.
bribery.
Uh,
Mm.
yes, sir.
Uh,
And if has a person who is very powerful,
uh,
then they get job in
uh,
a good job. And if they have no any money, a lot of money, and not give the money robbery,
uh,
then he cannot get a good job.
mhm. Are you interested in a job or private business?
Uh, Nowadays, I am interested in a job.
Mm.
After 2 or 3 years ago,
Mm. Uh,
later, I will
mm.
be stand my own business.
Okay. How many brothers are you?
We are three brothers.
Three brothers. So your brother started, you see, business in property, and you see, like pigeons. So your father, what was the business of your
No,
father?
no, no. My big brother. We are three brothers, and he was my first cousin.
First
He
cousin.
doing this business, property dealing.
Okay, okay. So your father business was occupation was what?
My
Farming,
Yeah, my father is a farmer
uh,
and agriculturing.
agriculture. So can you drive a tractor? Right, you see, tractor trolley.
No, I can't do drive a tractor trolley uh, because I never drive a tractor.
Yeah, you never drove a tractor. So mostly
Yeah,
people have piece of land and they also have some tractor or you see plowing
we
the
also
field.
have
Okay, this.
tractors, trolleys, and agriculture uh, things. But I never drive a tractor
Mhm.
because I have no interest in agriculture.
Okay. So in villages, there's another, you see, a type of business that is fertilizers, and you see agricultural machinery, and renting, or you see buying, selling, or all this. So do you have any sort of business in your village as well?
Uh, no, nowadays in our village there is no much land of a piece of land.
Uh-huh.
The people selling their land for
Mm.
societies.
Societies. So
Yes, sir.
those people who sell their land, where do they go then afterwards?
The people, there are many people just, selling their lands, and they purchased in
Mm.
other districts like Ukara, Dipalpur, and other Saiwal, uh, Bahawal Nagar,
Mm.
Pagpatan. They purchased their lands and doing agriculture system there, and many people start their own business. Uh, some people's enjoying their life and wasting their money
Uh-huh.
with this with after selling the lands.
Mm. Those people who sell their land, and they get money, and what do they do with that money? Buy motorcycles, TVs, mobile phones,
Buying
things.
motorcycles, buying cars,
Uh-huh.
buying and doing parties.
Mm.
Yeah, everything they do,
They do this.
visiting visiting
Festival.
other countries.
Mm. Okay. So, do you plan to work some in other countries as well? Are there any relatives who are in other countries?
Yeah, my brother is my cousin, first cousin is, and their family is settled in London.
Uh-huh. So, do
And
you
my
ask
fam,
them? Do you ask them that they should help you? They be there in England. Now there's Corona. You see, many people are not going there. So, if
no, no, I have not interested to
mm,
settling there in other countries. I wanna settle here in my Pakistan,
uh,
and but if you have a good money, and then you can visit the other countries.
that's very good. You are very much like me. Okay, visit other countries,
Yes,
but
sir.
don't live there. Don't live all your life there in other countries. Okay, so home is good. Very good. Um, okay. And this is all about. I was talking about education. So,
Yes, sir.
do you keep studying? Sometimes in the past, you were going to school, you were studying for examination. Okay.
Yes,
So,
sir.
are you studying even now? Are you still like to read books and write something? Reading, writing, are these your hobbies these days as well?
Uh, my hobby was book reading.
Book reading.
I read when I go to school.
Hmm.
Uh, I read my books in a month. All of my books in a month. Uh,
Um, okay.
I crossed my syllabus and read all of books over this, and this is
Okay.
a very interesting thing.
Okay. Okay. So, and these days, I think people are busy with mobile phones, so they don't read newspapers, they don't read you see novels. And in the past, when there were no internet, people used to read digests.
Yes, sir. I
Urdu
also
digest.
read
There were
many
some digests.
digests.
Uh,
I also read like Shoah, like
hmm.
uh, many digests, Khofnak Hasina, like this, and many types of digests I read.
So, do you think that it will be a good idea that in the school, and people should they should ask us to read the digest, and then there will be exam about the stories in the digest that we read.
No, I think this is not a good idea. But nowadays, people have not interested to read that digest.
Uh-huh.
Uh, this This was, I think, this is 10 or 12 years ago. The people read digest.
Okay, so this activity is very old now. People don't read digest. I think they don't have time now.
Eh, yes, sir.
They like to watch and just listen, and that's all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what about the okay about the weathers? Sometimes the people say weather is very hot, especially in cities. So is it the same hot in villages as well? Because they are not, you see, in cities, people have air conditions. Almost every building is having air conditions, offices and see in houses as well. So do you have ACs in your village as well? And people say it's very hot, or people say just not. Village people normally say it's a normal, not very hot.
No, there is no. I think you can't say this a village. You can say this is a town, and
Uh-huh.
I think there is every house has their three or four AC in their
Oh.
home.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. I think there are many rare people they have no their AC, but there are, mostly people have their AC
But
at home.
there are farmers as well, and you see, have you ever heard farmers that they want air conditioned tractor as well because they have
No,
to work in the fields?
no, farmer cannot say. Farmer is a very good, hard person,
Uh-huh.
and he not say about today is very hot weather and not going a cold
Mm.
place. They work hard in the land.
Okay. So it is just with the new generation, and they talk about, you see, ACs or all these things. And if they have some work, and they will also, this new generation is also interested in working for agriculture or this type of work. They like this work.
No, the I think young generation want to enjoying themselves and going their. I think they don't want to work.
So why they don't like the work? It is there's not much profit, or it's not interesting.
Uh, I think in our area there is not a much profit to do business, to do
Agriculture.
agriculture.
Uh-huh.
Agriculture. I think there is a uh, in this area the land is not perfect to agriculturing.
Uh-huh. So people have some, you see, cows and buffaloes in your village as well.
I think there are five or six house people. They have many cows for their milk business, but many people have cows for drinking their own milk.
Oh. So you say how many houses in your village and they have cows? I see directly in their house or outside. Uh, In your village, are
Uh,
there most of the houses double-story houses or single-story house?
there are mostly houses or double stories
Oh,
in my
double-story
village.
house. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I think there are uh, 100 to 150
Mm.
people house have their own buffaloes, cattle, and
Mm.
uh, they I think there are two 10 people they are cattling for purchasing for selling milk,
Mm.
but many people have cattle for their own business milk.
Where do you get your milk and butter from? Do you have your own, let's see, buffaloes?
Yes, sir.
How many buffaloes you have?
I have three buffaloes and one cow.
Okay, then who looks after these buffaloes? Do you have some helpers?
Yeah, I have one worker there,
Uh,
and he looks.
so, and for the about the fodder of the buffaloes. So, where do you get fodder? You grow the fodder, or you buy it from somewhere?
I grow fodder
Mm. So,
in
so
our
for
land.
in our land. So, do you also buy the fodder sometimes when there is not much fodder?
I think after 5 6 years, in 5 6 years, if
Mhm.
we need purchase fodder,
Mhm.
then we purchase. That's
Okay.
otherwise we have our fodder.
Mhm. So, how much is one buffalo? What is the price of one buffalo in your area?
Uh, I think 2 lakhs to 250 lakhs.
Okay, and the baby cow, baby buffalo is how much? 6 months buffalo, baby
If you
buffalo.
want 6 months, if you want 6 month baby buffalo,
Uh,
then you will be pay till 60,000 or 70,000.
oh, 60,000, 70,000. That is also very expensive.
Yes, sir.
More than the goat. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what about the goat? Are there any goats as well? Goats and sheep?
Uh, no, there are no goats and sheep there.
Uh,
Very in a too much counting.
uh-huh. So, goats are cheap or not cheap? You see, baby goats, small, are they cheap or not?
Baby goats are not for selling, but if people want sell their goat in 30,000 and 25 to 30,000.
25,000 for baby goat.
Not baby goat,
For the goat.
a big goat, a
Goat
goat.
and goat with the babies, 25,000. Okay, you give and take. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, dear. I think it's a long class now, and yeah, I hope to talk to you
Yes,
tomorrow
sir.
as well. And it was good practice. I will prepare some
Yeah.
interview questions for you as well. And tomorrow we shall
Yes,
have
sir.
an interview
Allah.
questions, more interviews. Allah Hafiz then. But take care.
Allah Hafiz, sir.
Allah
Allah
Hafiz.
Hafiz, sir.